There's no obligation.
Okay, Pamela, so I'm going to send you the forms. There's no obligation, absolutely nothing from you that requires you to do anything from that point on. By the way, there is a compelling value to what we're going to send out to you, and we do it for free, and we do it for free because we feel like once you see it, you'll want to engage us in services, and a lot of companies charge $250 to $1,500 for an analysis like the one we want to give you, but we really feel like once you see it, you'll be so compelled by what you find and by the depth of the analysis that you'll engage us in future business. So the other thing about engaging us ultimately in future business is there will be very little that you need to do to help us move forward. Choosing keywords is by far the most important aspect of what we feel your role needs to be. After that, you just kind of can become judge and jury on how we're doing. There's not going to be a lot of intrusive requests by us to you.
Have to access my website?
Yeah, eventually we're going to have to access your website. We'll need a username and password to make changes. Those changes typically, by the way, are not highly visual or functional. They won't change much of what you do, but we will need access to it. And if there's a problem with that, whoever it is that you pay your bill to for your website, they're going to have access to it. It's not difficult to do.
Okay.
And we won't damage it. It won't slow your website down. It won't take your website offline. None of that will become a factor.
This all sounds good. We're doing this research for free, but how do I really know where my competitors stand? This report is going to show me?
Yeah, we can, just like we can do it for you, we can do it for them. And we'll be able to find out how competitive they are, where they show up in Google and Yahoo, how many links they have, how many Facebook type friends do they have, what is their connection, and how supported are their companies and their websites on the internet, and that'll help us let you know how competitive it is, which starts to set pricing. So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, none of our services are by contract, which means if we go through a month and you get cold feet, you don't like the idea, or you don't like what we're doing, or your goals change as a company, then you can stop using us, and you can do that every single month for our entire relationship. So we're going to require absolutely no commitment out of you whatsoever. Many of our competitors usually want at least 6 months. I will say this, to be fair, it takes 4 to 6 months to get decent results.
Is there any kind of guarantee after that 4 or 6 month time frame, or?
There's no specific guarantee on a keyword being listed first, second, or third. Google frowns on that. They look down on that. They feel like, we could probably guarantee it, and what if we did it and then it lasted 1 hour or 2 hours? What kind of a guarantee is that? And so the reason why Google looks down on it, why we don't offer it, is if we were to do it, I think it would become very, very difficult to continuously prove where you are and where you're not. So for one, I think that would be a difficult process. And two, we don't know what your competition's going to do. If they start piling a lot of money into something and they overcome you, then we would have promised something that possibly we couldn't deliver. I think the beauty of SEO is that it's a monthly movement towards a common goal. And if you put guarantees on stuff, and there are external forces that affect that, then that doesn't last long, and I think it wouldn't bode well for our ultimate relationship. But we are so sure of our services, having said that we don't require a contract, and because we don't require a contract, we're hoping that our services stand on their own 2 feet, and when you see the number of clicks going up and the number of visits going up and the number of leads going up, that you'll know what we've done, and you also have reports that reflect those efforts.
Okay.
A minimum investment for SEO is about $400. It can go anywhere up to, you know, $5,000 or $10,000. Guessing from, you know, Palm Beach County and guessing from the type of industry you're in, I think you're looking at, you know, $400 to $600 monthly investment. And I would say you just have to give us, you don't have to, but we would urge you to give us 4 to 6 months to see how we can move you in rankings over that time, because nothing happens overnight.
Great, okay.
All right, so let me get you this it's called an intake form. Let me get you the intake form. 3 days later, we will get back to you with a complete analysis of where you are, and then it's up to you.
Okay,
All right.
I'll fill that out, yeah.
Great. Do you have any questions for me?
I'd like to see that report. You said it just takes a few days?
Yeah, it takes 3 business days.
Okay. And so if I'm looking on Google right now and there's 10 of my competitors showing up,
Right.
when within a few months I'll see myself showing up with them?
I would say by the 3rd month, you're going to start to see yourself showing up and then rising up past them. So let's say, for instance, that you have a competitor you know of, and you know that they do more business with you. They have a bigger shop. They have a bigger facility. You see their ads every now and then. I think the proof will be in the pudding. When we can get you even or above where they are, then you'll say, "Hey, this is really working." 9 out of 10 people that are trying to find something try and find it on the internet. And if that's true, what you need to do is you need to harness that behavior. And one of the ways of harnessing that behavior is to make sure that you're there when they look. All we can do is get you there. Once we get you there, once we get you that ranking, you know, we really have to believe that they're going to click and act on the needs that they have as a dog owner or a cat owner or whatever.
Right, okay.
You know, let me get that form filled out. I'll call you, or you can call me when you get the form if you have difficulty filling it out. Let me get you this report, and I think you'll start to see, when you start to see where your competitors rank, what the name of that competitor is, where you rank, and we'll start to get goals for you and say, listen, I think we can attain that. Or we may say to you, and this has happened, but I don't suspect it will happen for you, but we may come back to you and say, you know, your biggest competitor is so giant and they're so aggressive that you'll not in the short term get in front of them. We can get you, you know, 1 or 2 rows below them in Google. So let's find out what happens and have a true open eyes look at where you fall in the world of Google and Yahoo and Bing, and then take stock from there.
Adam, I do have a question. I'm on Google now. I just searched dog grooming Palm Beach Gardens.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking under, there's only one sponsored link.
Right.
At the top. There's, of course, sponsored on the sides.
That's good.
As a consumer, I ignore those. But where it says local business results, is that where we're talking about ranking?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Pamela. I appreciate it.
Thank
You know, I want to leave you with one thing. I was doing a little research of my own on the internet about SEO, and I read something that I have not been able to forget, and it's a very compelling quote. It's by a guy named Mark Cutts, who is the head technology officer at Google. And here was his statement. It was to me as powerful a statement as you could have in my industry. And the statement was this: the future relationship that you will have with prospective customers and clients is based on the existing relationship you have with Google today.
Wow.
So think about it a little bit. It's pretty powerful. I have to go. Unfortunately, the 10-minute video thing is up. So let's stop now. We'll take it from there.